Good morning, everybody. Fergus Dolan from NALA here. Delighted to have you here for our fourth ESOL webinar of the week. Today's webinar is going to look at creating classroom-ready ESOL resources in minutes using AI. And we're delighted to have Kathy Hanrahan. Kathy is an ETP adult educator and an AI adoption and enablement trainer, and she's with Waterford and Wexford ETP. Hi, Kathy.
Hi, how are you? Good morning, Fergal.
Good morning.
Fergus.
And just before Kathy starts, my colleague Derv Ryan is going to talk to you for 2 or 3 minutes about new ESOL and adult literacy resource that she's been working on at levels 1 and 2. Over to you, Derv.
Thanks, Fergus. Hi, everybody. I just wanted to share with you four new workbooks for learners at levels 1 to 2 that we've developed in NALA. They're based on four themes: places in the town, clothes and weather, health and well-being, and free time activities. The books were originally developed with ESOL literacy learners in mind, so people learning English who may have literacy issues in their first language. Um, but we have broadened the description and believe they could be useful for literacy learners as well. So the books were developed with Angus O'Riordan, who is a very experienced ESOL tutor. You might know his website. He co-founded ESOL Materials Ireland, and he also worked for many years in the Dublin Adult Learning Centre and Sporazzi. And the staff and students in the Dublin Adult Learning Centre helped us pilot these workbooks in the classroom as well, which gave us very good feedback. So we made some improvements in this final version. You can find them on our website and download them as PDFs, and they can actually be filled out as a PDF and saved on the device if students fill them out. And then you can also order hard copies from us. So I'll put those links into the chat so you have those, and we'd welcome, of course, any feedback you have on those as well. So thanks very much and enjoy the webinar.
Thanks very much, Derv. And yeah, I'll hand you over to Kathy. All the best, Kathy.
Good morning. Hi, everybody. How are you? It's great to be here. And thanks so much for taking the time out during the midterm break. You're amazing. So we're going to have a look today at using AI. I know everybody has encountered it, but I want you to go away today with some information in your hand that you can use for your class on Monday, something solid. And we're going to do that together. Now, just bear with me for 1 second until I share this screen with you. And
And just while Kathy's sharing there, I can see that Derv put up the information in the chat about the new workbooks that she's developed and how to order them.
okay, great. Can everybody see our opening page?
Yeah.
That's great. So create classroom-ready ESOL resources in minutes with AI. It sounds very exciting and very forward-thinking, but it's true. So before we begin, can you tell me two things? Put into the chat there on the side. Where are you from? Where are you at today? I'm in Carlow. And also, what level are you teaching in ESOL? Is it 1 or 2 or 3? And the reason, or more, the reason I'm asking is so we can make sure we address the needs that you have for the classes you're actually teaching now. Thanks a million. So let's have a look at the chat. Where are you?
Oh, we've got a few people from London, Kathy.
From London. Hello, I love London. I haven't been there for over a year. What's the weather like in London? Oh, and Lucan, hi for
That's
Fergus
me.
and Lucan. They're great. Dublin city centre. Audrey lived in Dublin for years. And I'm great. Beginners. Teaching levels 1 to 4. So am I,
Okay.
Una. I'm teaching level 1 to 4. Level 2 in West Cork. West Cork is so beautiful. That is great. You're all so welcome. I'm not going to go through everybody, okay? And make you send me a Christmas card or something. So let's carry on. That's great. Now, what we're doing is, I just need to stop sharing so this will move for me. Can you see the picture? If you can't, that's okay. I'm just going to share again.
It's
Okay,
coming up
so
now, Kathy. Yeah.
great. This is us.
Yep. It's
This,
there.
I won't,
Yeah.
I was just about to blame the tools, guys, where it was me. So this is us. I didn't make this picture. This is AI generated, of course, and it just chose the gender. So what are we doing every day in class? We have people who have come from war-torn countries, people who have come from economic strife, people who have, in our classroom, we have third level educated people, maybe they have a PhD. And we also have people who've left school early. We also have UDL to consider. That's a lot. And now, on top of everything else, we're being told AI is everywhere and we should be using it. And I don't know about you, but for a long time, my head felt like this, like it was exploding. So we're going to sort that out today. And let's move on and have a look at what we're going to cover today. We only have the hour, so the goal is that you walk away with something you can use in class on Monday morning, like I said. But we're just going to hit the highlights in between times. Very quickly, number one over here, we have the context for AI for the ESOL teacher, how we can use it. It's not a search engine. You can use it like we used our search engines before, but that's kind of a waste of its power. It's an assistant that you don't have to pay and doesn't need holiday time and never gets sick. So that's perfect. The prompt engineering, that's the main thing we're doing today. It's going to be your superpower and save you so much time. And then we have the live demo. We're going to do that together. I'll show you how. And of course, interject anytime you want and ask any questions while we're doing that. And we have a special little box for Notebook LM. It's one of my favorite tools, and it works so well for the very low level or the higher level. We'll have a look at that. And then rapid fire tools, there's hundreds of them on the market, and we're not going to waste time going through it. It's like choosing a car. All cars get you from A to B, and there's so many tools to choose from. So we'll just pick the big runners that everybody is used to, and then using AI responsibly. So that's what we're doing today. So let's get started. So AI, why now? Okay. You are the ESOL teacher, you know everything already about language level, the learner's context, where they're coming from, scaffolding, can't be teaching the perfect continuous if they don't know the verb to be. And all of this logic and scaffolding is exactly how AI works. So you're thinking in the same way, and it'll make it much more easy for you to create materials that you can use. Your barrier isn't your ability, of course. You're fantastic. There's just where to start, and we're going to do that today. AI tools are free or otherwise almost free. Everybody I know is in different centers, and their organization may or may not provide different tools for them. All tools in Microsoft, for instance, might not be open to them, or it might. But there isn't a barrier. There's always another tool that you can use. And then it's not about replacing you, of course, because it just gives you more time. Guys, we know what it's like spending hours. I have spent hours. You have spent hours preparing a lesson that's going to work for every student in your class. This is going to give you back those hours. So when you get into your class, you're not exhausted and you can spend more time with the actual student. And just very quickly, we're doing andragogy here today. Of course, we all have, I'm assuming, we all have adult students, not pedagogy. So it's problem-centered, preparing them what vocabulary do they need for an interview, how are they going to order something in the cafe, how are they going to manage shopping, help with writing, how do they write an email to the teacher of their child's school, and so on. So you all know that. I want to ask you a question at this point, though. The LLM is the large language model. So which LLM are you using already? For example, are you using Perplexity? Are you using Claude? Are you using Gemini? Are you using ChatGPT? Or have you not heard of any of those? Pop it into the chat there and tell me where you're at. have you used the large language models, or is this new to you? And if you have used the models, which one? Let's have a look at the chat. Let's have a look. Copilot, of course, I forgot to mention Copilot, ChatGPT, all of the above. Great. Well, you shouldn't be here at all. I'm going to go off for a coffee and you take over. Gemini, great. Gamma, okay. ChatGPT, Gemini, fantastic. They're so accessible, aren't they? That's great. Thanks so much. Now, let's move on. Okay. I don't know. This isn't moving for me. You're being very patient with me now.
Oh, yeah, it's moved.
Thank you. So just to have a focus on the student again, to just emphasize what you have to deal with, what we're dealing with every day in the classroom. The student has the triple burden as time poverty because they'll be working or they'll be caring for their family, trying to make it into your class. The fear of looking foolish, we all know this. It's the main barrier for learning for everybody, including maybe us today, being afraid to ask a question. Please don't be. And their immediate need is the survival English. Like I said, how do they manage with their grocery shopping as opposed to academic English, even though, of course, we have to do grammar because it's the foundation. You all know, you know this. But the point here is to share your AI tools with your students because you're giving them agency and it'll be self-directed learning when they're not with you in the class. I don't know what your schedules are, but most of my groups only have 2 classes a week with me. Some of them only have 1. So it's to share the tools as you discover them as well, so they can practice and improve their English at home and come back to you with their questions. Okay, so that's great. Now, let's move on. Okay, here we are, the golden prompt. So what is a prompt? Pop it into the chat. What do you think of when you see prompt engineering? What is a prompt? Tell me. If you don't know, of course, it doesn't matter.
No concentration levels.
Steps, instructions, great. Specific ways of asking what you want to do, keywords. Fantastic. That's great. You guys are great. Thank you so much. Yeah. So a prompt is instruction, it's clear instruction. And the more information you give the LLM, like Gemini or ChatGPT, they seem to be the big ones that everybody's used, the better the outcome is going to be for you. Okay. So let's have a quick look. Yep. Okay. So we have RCTC. This is just one acronym: role, context, task, constraints. You'll see many of them out there. It's really the role. What is it that you want? We'll say ChatGPT. What is it that you want ChatGPT to do? So you want it to be an experienced, qualified ESOL teacher. The context is you have the learners are adult learners and they're at level A2. And today they're doing how to order food in a restaurant. The task is they need to successfully get the food that they want, for example, and the constraints are don't use any phrasal verbs, maybe, or whatever you like. And the format, it wouldn't be relevant for this example, but the format might be, do you want it in columns with a title and so on? Okay, so a weak prompt is here. We are familiar with that. Write something about payslips for ESL students. Generic, probably too hard, culturally inappropriate, no glossary, unsuitable vocabulary levels, waste of time. However, if you did put that prompt in, you can give it another prompt until it improves. A stronger one, you're an ESOL materials writer or an ESOL tutor, whatever you like. Create a reading text for adults, pre-intermediate B1 learners or whatever level you are dealing with. Working in care settings, for example, or working in restaurants, you know where your students are. understanding a pay slip or understanding the menu, whatever you like. And short sentences, this is what you want them to come back with. You want the LLM to come back with, ChatGPT. No idioms, for example, include a glossary of 5 key terms. And if required, you can create a table with a title bar or 2 columns, as I said, for example, or you can create a dialogue, anything you like. Okay, so if we're all happy with that, we're going to move on and do a live demo. Okay, so here we go. Live demo, build a lesson package in 10 minutes. I had 5 minutes written there. You can actually do it in 3. Anybody who's used this? But I just thought 10 minutes is plenty of time, doesn't scare anybody. And then the scenario, this is just an example. Pre-intermediate adult learners, mostly refugees, working in healthcare care settings. Monday's topic, understanding a payslip. And you want ChatGPT to generate a full lesson plan, differentiate the reading text at level A2 and B1 if you have different level ability in your class, auto-generate gap fills and comprehension questions. That's just an example. We're going to do something a little bit different. I have some Fergus will send them to you later. Sorry, Fergus, I have a cousin called Fergal. It's in top of my mind.
I'm often called Fergal. Don't worry.
And if Fergus, thank you so much for your help earlier as well. Fergus is going to send you a pack of information at the end of this. And I'm just going to pull it up here now in 1 second and show you. One of them is okay. Bear with me for a second till I get this for you. Yep, super. And let's go back and share this screen. And share.
Yeah, that's coming up, Kathy. Yep.
Okay. No, it's not.
Yeah, it's there. 8 ready to use prompt templates.
Okay. Yep, super. So here we go. You'll be sent this afterwards. So we'll just take one here. There are templates to get you going if you're not used to prompts or if you're not used to extending your prompt. Here's for a lesson plan, differentiated reading text, and so on. So we're just going to grab this. Okay. If I could do this properly for you. It's amazing how things work wonderfully when you're on your own. And I'll just copy this and then we'll move over to, let's do ChatGPT, will we? Share screen.
And while you're opening that, just for everyone else, there's a good suggestion from Mary Kenny. She's saying maybe say something about Ireland in the prompt, or England if you're in England. You're working, or in Scotland if you're in Scotland. You're working in a healthcare setting in Ireland. Uh, so the payslip reflects the actual deductions using proper familiar terms like USC, PRSI, etc. Thanks, Mary.
Okay, sorry guys, press the wrong button. Just going to share my screen. Now, there it is. I have so many pages open here. You've been very patient. Thank you. Now. And there it is. finally. Now, so we have ChatGPT open because that's the one we mentioned. I copied the prompt from the document and I'm just going to paste it in there. So here we are. You are an experienced ESOL teacher working with adult learners. Create a 60-minute lesson plan for level. What level do you want to put in? Pop it into the chat there real quick. What level will we choose? What's in the chat there, Fergus?
Maybe level 2. A lot of people are level 1 or 2.
Yeah, sure. We'll put in for level A2 learners who are, what are they learning today? Who
Work going into the pharmacy.
need to cope in a pharmacy setting.
Yeah.
You can write exactly what you want, and the topic would be medication, maybe. Okay.
Yeah.
If I make a mistake typing, let me know. I'm a dreadful typer. Include a warmer activity, vocabulary focus, a main task, a speaking and writing activity, and a homework suggestion. Keep all instructions scaffolded and simple. So that's great. If you're not used to writing prompts, this is something for you to start with, and very quickly you'll be writing your own, okay? And we have extended thinking turned on, so let's go. And this is the part I love. So you can go and make dinner, you can ring a friend, all of the hours. How many hours would this take you to do? It would take me about 2 hours. I have to be honest. Okay, you can see the sidebar is moving here. We can move down and see what it's doing as it's thinking. Okay. Still going, as you can see. So what is the produced already? 60-minute ESOL plan, so it has the introduction. We have our warmer. Okay, pharmacy words to know. Put them in pairs, etc. So you have the entire plan. It's really fantastic if you're covering for another teacher. That's how it works so well also. Or if you're just incredibly tired, or if you have more surprise students in your class. We've all had that experience. Vocabulary focus, what it means. Scaffolded steps, useful pharmacy questions. Okay. Main task, role play at the pharmacy, speaking or writing activity. How often do I take it? Very important question for medication. And homework, 2 minutes. So you can send them home with that homework or not. Now, if there's any part of this you don't like, let me see.
Kathy, there's a question from Siobhan saying, can I
Super.
check, please, is this the payment version of ChatGPT that's been used?
Am I using the paid version?
Yes.
I am using the paid version, but what I've just done is in the free version also. I only got the paid version recently because I'm doing some research work as well. And but this, you can do this in the free version. Okay.
Mary Kenny saying the free version is just as good.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Mary. Yeah, you're totally right. The free version of most of them, the barrier for the free version of any of them compared to the paid version is usually the amount of work you can do in one day. It's all based on tokens. And a simple way to think of tokens is really the characters on the page, and you're given an amount free every day, and then you might run out of your tokens. But it's not any less quality. Okay, so I hope that helps. So if there's any part of this you don't like, let me see, vocabulary. I might say the vocabulary, I need more. I need more relevant vocabulary. I need more relevant vocabulary and a more detailed explanation. And if I'm making spelling mistakes, let me know. The less mistakes you make here, guys, the easier it is for ChatGPT or any LLM to cope with your question, because if they don't have to correct your mistakes first, they get down to answering the question faster. Just little bits of information. Okay, and here we go. And it's doing exactly as we asked it to do. There it is there. Loads more information on vocabulary. Okay, and then you could say, create a practice page for the student.
That is a black one.
Using this vocabulary. In an open close format, fill the gap. Open close, fill the gap. Okay, and an open close, fill the gap format. Let's see what it does. Okay. And it's just having a little think. I think that's so funny because it's only a machine.
Just when we're waiting for that, Kathy, Siobhan
Yes.
saying I found that if I use it to generate questions, maths, for example, and solutions, the solutions sometimes are incorrect and
Really,
do not relate to the questions generated.
really, really good point. So there's two things you can do there, and I'm so glad you said that because I forgot to mention it. You're the human being, you're the important person here. This is just a machine. So obviously when this lesson, for example, I wouldn't just print it off and go. I'd check it because it can make mistakes. It can make grammar mistakes. The spelling might be American. You can tell it to make sure it's British English and so on. But for the maths questions as well, obviously you'll be checking it and you see that it's wrong. Tell it that it's wrong and where it has given the wrong answer. And 9 times out of 10 it'll correct itself. It'll say something like, oh, whoops, sorry, thanks for pointing that out to me, and so on. It's quite disconcerting that it personalizes itself. But if you keep correcting it, you're actually doing everyone a favor because that's more feedback data that goes back in. And the next time somebody wants to use this maths question in their lesson plan, it's more likely to be correct. So yes, of course it makes mistakes. It's just a dumb machine. And it's feeding off all of the information that has been put into it. So thanks so much for that question. Let me just see at the very end here. So there you go, there's your gap fill, that's all great. And down here, I think it's quite important to do the thumbs up after you've read it and after you've corrected any mistakes or after you've augmented it in any way you want. I think it's a good idea to give the thumbs up that it's a good response because the next person who's using it then, they know that this information is correct. So thanks so much for that comment, great. And you can copy, share, and whatever. You can, if you copy it right there, you can copy it straight into a document. I don't know if any, so for everybody who's done this before, just bear with me. This is for people who have not done this before. You can click here and copy it into a document and you can change the font, you can change anything you like about it and add pictures and so on. We're going to do that in a minute. It's fantastic. Give it a thumbs up or give it a thumbs down. If you give it a thumbs down for Siobhan, I believe you said, for the maths, Siobhan, give it a thumbs down and then go in here and explain to them what's wrong. Obviously, you can share it as well with a colleague or whatever, or try again. Usually it would be try again if you ask them to create a text for level A2 and it was quite childish. You could say, make it more engaging for adult students and try again. Okay, and then more actions. Your more actions are to read it aloud if you wish. You might be working on something else and at home and so on. Okay, so that's it. I just love this facility. And of course, Gemini does something similar. Gemini, the tone of Gemini, for those who've used ChatGPT and Gemini will see this difference as well, is more chatty and conversational. Claude is really fantastic for code and it's really great for giving you your information in a very factual, no nonsense way. Perplexity is just unbelievable for research, for anybody who's doing research there for papers. But you can explore all of this yourself, or you can just pop in here and ask ChatGPT. I want to show you something, or Gemini. I want to show you something else here as well. That's your prompt, your superpower, okay? I want to show you what you can do if you forget your prompts, or you can't think, or you're too tired. You can do one of two things. You can give it a reverse prompt, which is, I have a class of 15 adult students. Here we go. 15 AD, adult students, STUD, students who need to know about Irish pharmacies. I'll put in a different one just for the crack. Yeah. Okay. Irish chemists, because many people in Ireland call it chemists, back to what somebody said to make it more specific to your needs. Um, create a lesson plan for me. Okay. Now we know that has no detail, but let's just go reverse prompt. Okay. And then you can build on this when you get your answer, which will be just 2 minutes. Just bear with me, or bear with it. You can see what it's doing as it's going through it. I can include role play. Great. They're going to put that in already with clear timings, language activities, materials. So ChatGPT is doing this itself. You didn't ask for any of it. It understands the whole requirement of a lesson plan. These are some of the websites that I looked up. And of course, if you're doing something more serious, you can verify all the sources. And it's still going. Okay. And here we go. There we go. It has some visuals for you. It's done everything. The names of them, lesson overview. Where is it? Biomedication, everything. And then once you have that, you can work on it and say, section 2 isn't what I wanted, change it. Okay. And then the other thing we can do is, this is what I really love about the prompts, is write an excellent prompt for me to produce an engaging, useful lesson plan for adult ESOL students visiting a chemist. And it'll write the prompt for you. And there it is. And away you go. Okay, so that's that. Tell me in the chat.
There's one
Oh,
there's one piece of tip from John, Kathy, saying,
great, super.
have you tried combining this with custom instructions? So it occurred to me that parts of prompts will always be repeated, role, learner group, etc. You could make this default if you always use that tool for work.
Absolutely, and I actually have one of those slides there, and the documents that Fergus, thank you, Fergus, is going to send later has them just to save it. Yeah, if you're using the same one again and again, you can use the first 4 or 5 lines. Absolutely. Thanks so much for mentioning that. That's great. Now, let me just pop back in here for 1 second and we'll carry on. Now, okay.
And just while we're waiting, there's another
Now,
note
can you
saying,
see
I
that?
find using audio, the audio microphone option, really useful in ChatGPT instead of typing your question or prompt.
Yes, yes. I use that more. I don't know why, but I use it more for Gemini. I have everything on my phone as well, and when I'm driving, hands-free, totally hands-free, I can talk to Copilot or Gemini and ask it to create a lesson plan and give it all of the parameters as I'm commuting. There's a tip for anybody and it's totally hands-free. It's the same as just chatting on the phone and not looking at anything. Okay. Okay, great. That's fantastic. Let's move on because I don't want to miss an opportunity to show you Notebook LM. Tell me in the chat real quick, who's used Notebook LM already? Please let it be everyone. Who has used Notebook LM already?
Quite a few of them are saying never.
Oh, never. Oh, fantastic. You're going to love this. I am 1 second now. I want to show this to you. And I need to find it here. No. Notebook LM. Bear with me for 1 second. If there's any more questions, Fergus, you can let me
Yeah,
know.
Mary Kenny has a good point here. She said it's fabulous to see mention of medical card, drugs payment schemes, very localized to Ireland. In this example, pharmacy, can it generate images to do a matching exercise with vocab for A1 students? The quality,
Yeah, it's a
explicitness of
little
the
hard to hear
images.
you, Fergus. Is that lady asking if it can be more specific to the Irish market?
No, she said it's so fabulous to see mention of medical cards, drug payment schemes. It's very localized to Ireland. So she's saying it is. In this example, pharmacy, can it generate images to do matching exercise with vocab for A1 students? The quality, explicitness of the images may not be best to illustrate the word precisely, prescription, symptoms, etc.
So if the question is, can you differentiate the level between A1 and A2? You absolutely can. So when it creates the lesson plan, if I'm understanding the question correctly, once it creates the lesson plan, if you feel the level is too high, you just put in another prompt and say the contents of this lesson plan are fine, but bring the level down a little or bring it down to level A1, whichever you think is, give it the instruction that you need, and it'll reproduce the same lesson at the appropriate level. Okay. And then you're saying the quality of the pictures. I'm sorry, I didn't understand that. Are you
She
saying the quality
so
of the pictures are poor?
No, Mary's asking, can it generate images to do a matching exercise with vocab for those A1 students?
Oh yeah, sure, but you can do that on Canva or yeah, absolutely. You can do it in Gemini, which I'll show you now in a minute, creating images. So you mean that if I have the word cough medicine, that beside it is a picture of cough medicine.
It sounds to me like yes. Mary, if you want to unmute and just clarify, but that's what it sounds to me like she's asking.
Yeah, because you can do that anyway in docs or anything.
Yeah, the point I was making is sometimes the images might not be as precise to narrow down exactly what the word is. If you
Yeah.
do a matching exercise with images and a word, that was all.
Oh yeah, and again, Mary, back to the point that was made before from the person who's teaching mathematics, it is going to make mistakes sometimes because, and when I say it, I'm talking about all LLMs, I'm talking about all AI because it is only a machine, it's not perfect. But the more we use it and the more feedback we give, so if that happens to you again in the future, if you can write the feedback in saying what is incorrect about it, that's really helpful. Okay. I hope that's okay. Can you see this screen here? It says UCD week 2.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So this is Notebook LM. Okay, so let me just go back. Let me just go back now. Can you see this screen? It says
Yes.
Notebook LM.
Yeah.
My cursor is on the top left-hand screen.
Yeah.
Okay, so Notebook LM as a tool is just fantastic. And what it does is it's different from other chatbots because and a chatbot was the original language model, and then what we are dealing with now is large language models. Anyway, it's different because it actually takes all of the information from what you upload into it. So, for example, if you're doing work on gardening, you might have something from the BBC, maybe a video from the BBC Gardens World or whatever. You might have the contents of a book about gardening. You might have some papers that were written by horticulturists in University Cork, many different pieces of information, and you put them into Notebook LM. Okay, and it collates all of that information that you have supplied for you. So why would you do that? It's because it helps you learn. So these are featured notebooks. This is a notebook made by another person. So when I go into Notebook LM and over here on the right hand side, I click Create New, I'm creating a notebook, like a small book of my own information for me. And why is that of any interest to anybody? It's because what it does is amazing. So what I'm doing is I'm going straight in here just very quickly because it's preloaded and we don't have to wait. Okay, so UCD, I did my AI in UCD. So I'm just going to open it here. There's a few things I want to tell you about Notebook. Here on the left-hand side of the screen, you'll see different papers. These papers are many thousands of words. Some of them are 20,000, 40,000 words, these different papers, okay? You can see PDFs and digitizing versus digital transformation, leading digital transformation, and so on. That's just the subject matter I'm interested in. So we have all of these papers. And I can click all of them. You have tens of thousands of words, and Notebook LM can cope with it, no problem. Now I've loaded these already, and this is a tiny synopsis about what week 2 was in UCD, okay? And then what I want to do is, I'm not reading all of these papers. I don't have time. So what can I do? I can do all sorts of fantastic things over here. I can do an audio overview, which is every one of these papers goes into an audio file, and Notebook LM transforms it into a podcast with two people speaking as naturally as two computer-generated people can speak. Okay, and I just want to let you hear that. So I put all of these in, and I pressed audio overview. It started generating immediately, and it created this for me. And let me just turn it on for you. You don't have to listen to the content. It's just so you can hear that it has created a podcast with all of this information. Okay.
If I had $1 for every time I heard those buzzwords thrown around in a pitch deck or a quarterly meeting, I probably wouldn't be recording this deep dive right now. I'd be recording it from the deck of a very large yacht in the Mediterranean.
You and me both. It's really reached that saturation point, hasn't it, where the words just start to lose their meaning.
Okay. Can you hear that?
Yes.
Okay, so you have two people and they're having a conversation. Now, the subject matter of the conversation is relevant to me because it's from my files here. The subject matter of your podcast will be relevant to you because you can put in all grammar for level A2. You can put in different topics, subjects for level A2. You can put in different dialogues that ChatGPT or Gemini can create for you. You can ask them to create a dialogue level A2 between two people in the pharmacy, and you can put that in here. You can put in video from YouTube that is related to people visiting the pharmacy, and it will collate everything and put it into a podcast. And you're going, so what's the point of that? But it's fun. I have found it with my students. They love a podcast because they can slow it down, they can stop it, they can listen to it again. And most importantly, the feedback I've gotten from the students is that they know it's entirely relevant to them. They haven't been searching everywhere for material. This is everything that's specifically relevant to them. And also, the way they use it most commonly, regardless of the level, is for a flipped classroom. They'll listen to the podcast before they come into class. And then afterwards, they can listen to it again to help them with their homework or for a review. And it works so well up to level 4, any level, of course. But the real beauty of the podcast is, and please make yourself a cup of tea later and play with this. You can interrupt those two speakers and ask them a question, and they will answer you. You have to try it. It's just so great. So they're chatting away about whatever topic it is you have provided for them. They've created a podcast. And if you say, explain to me again about the verb to be, or why do you think the verb to be is important? Sorry for going on about the verb to be. And they will stop. They'll say, oh, that's a great question. And they'll answer you. So that facility, you're opening that up for your students.
Kathy, we have a few questions on Notebook here. A few
Super.
people have asked about copyright and what's copyright permissions with the images generated by AI or using, and then someone else says, what's the copyright situation with Notebook LM? You mentioned uploading content of a book, equally for academic paper. What's the copyright implications?
Yeah, okay, great question. Well, the same copyright applies. So if I go into the digital library of Queen's University in Belfast, I'm not going to be able to download or copy different papers there, but some of them I will be because they're in the public domain. So we're talking about our ESOL situation here. We can, if a video is on YouTube, it's in a public domain, so you can upload that here with no copyright issue. If you have created dialogue yourself by going into Gemini or ChatGPT, for example, and said, create a dialogue for me at level 2A with between two people in a chemist in Dublin, then that's something that's been created automatically by the AI, and you can put that in. There's no copyright infringement. And if you were talking about the gardening example I gave earlier, if the book is available online and you can read it freely, you don't have to buy it from Amazon, copy it out. So, the copyright situation is still the same, but there's more than enough material out there. Like, for example, here, all of this was available to me. So you'll use the material that is available to you. It's the same material that would be available to you if you were creating a class by hand with no computer and no artificial intelligence facility. I hope that answers the question.
Will I go more questions, Kathy, or do you need to?
Sure, if you want. And I'll just show you
Can
one
it
more
generate
thing.
a PowerPoint presentation?
I beg your pardon.
Can it generate a PowerPoint presentation?
Yes, it can. Here it is. Here, look, which is the next thing I was going to show you, slide deck, because PowerPoint, of course, is the Microsoft name for a presentation. So in different iterations, you'll see the word slide deck. So I'm not going to click it now because there's way too much going on here, but I clicked it earlier. And if you like that idea, is this my slide deck? Yeah, there's the slide deck created. I don't know if you can see it now. Again, This is to do with these papers here, okay? Hundreds and thousands of words of text. And can you see that on the right-hand side?
Yes.
Can you see the different slides? And
Yeah.
they're absolutely complete. Isn't that just so lovely? Please make yourself a cup of tea this weekend and please sit down and play around with this. It's so great. And let me show you something else. So that's that to answer that person's question. Okay. I'm trying to get back here. Okay, so audio overview is where you make your podcast. When you make your podcast, I suggest you just put in two documents to make your podcast, okay? Just something very quick so you can play around with the podcast. You heard the two voices, they'll start talking about the information you've put in, and you can interrupt them. You can ask them a question and they will answer your question. How fantastic is that for your student, for material that is entirely relevant to them because you've created this for them? Then you have your video overview. It'll make a video as well, mind map, reports, flashcards, quiz, but you can do this in many other places also. The real beauty of Notebook is the audio overview and the slide deck, otherwise known as the PowerPoint presentation, and data table and so on. And just very quickly, we won't bother waiting for it to happen, but I'll just show you. Let me untick half of these so it doesn't take forever. Let me untick half of these, okay? So we just have those two left. So I just want you to see what it looks like when you've decided to generate something. So I just have two files here. These are huge files. It's about 40,000 words in text. And I want to create a slide deck, for example. If I click this, you can see, can you see it's generating it?
Yeah.
Now, guys, it'll take a little bit of time. So go and have, a nice cup of coffee or whatever you like, okay? But the less, the smaller the files that go in, the shorter the time for the creation is. But it means that you can go and do another lesson plan, or you can go and read up on something. You have freed your time now for another thing. It's just wonderful. Now, let me
And there's one or
whiz
two
over.
more quick questions, Kathy, but I
Sure,
should.
fantastic. How are we doing for
So,
time?
can
Okay.
you upload PDF onto Notebook LM and ask it to generate the lesson?
Yeah, but you don't on Notebook LM. Yeah, so you can upload a PDF in Notebook LM. Okay, there's a PDF there, for example, and you can ask it to generate an audio overview of it. Yeah, or a slide deck of it. So you're
Thanks.
in control.
And another question is, are these audio files only playable in Notebook, or can you download them to MP3?
Yeah. So I'll just show you here. Okay. So we have play. Here's your more. Okay, there it is there. You see the download? Do you see the download?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And share. Okay. So yes, you absolutely can. I happen to have WhatsApp with some of my groups that they have created and they've made me a part of it. And I can also share it straight to that for them as well. It depends on your learner. Some of my learners, they're all working and they're minding their families and they're doing so much. Now, I just want to stop this because I need to show you something else very quickly.
Okay.
Okay. If that's okay. And if there's more questions, that's great.
I'll read
And
out questions, and if anyone, while you're working, if anyone knows the answer, you can unmute and answer. And can you get it to do that audio in more Hiberno English way?
um, you can in the paid version now. Having said that,
Okay.
we've just discovered that you can put text into this tool and it will generate two people who sound human discussing the tool, and you can interrupt those two human sounding people to answer your questions. So that's pretty amazing as it is. So I know that they're working on it because it irritates a lot of people to listen to the American accent. But at the moment, we're probably just going to have to embrace.
Yeah. And if the source of your material is Hiberno English, well then surely it's Hiberno English, from
No,
the Journal or the Irish Times or something.
not necessarily, no.
Okay.
But that's a really good point. Now, sorry, I just want to show you this very quickly. That's a really good point. Share screen. I think I knew. Now, can you see Gemini, guys? You can? My cursor.
Yes.
Super, thank you so much. Okay, so hi Kate, whatever, where should we start? Again, all of this is free. And the only difference it makes for the paid versions are that you can continue ad nauseum. Okay, so ask Gemini, whatever, tools, that's great. I love Gemini for creating images and videos and so on. Okay, so create an image, let's do that. It uses Nano Banana. Nano Banana has changed the game very quickly. The first person who puts something into chat, very quickly, what image do you want to see? No cats. Two people in a pharmacy. What's in the chat? Fergus, can you
There's
see?
nothing yet. They're still asking questions about other long questions. So you just
Okay,
come up with something.
okay. Two people in a pharmacy.
Talking to the pharmacist.
Okay. TALK, talking to the farm, PHA or farm, SIST, pharmacist. Okay. When I was creating the images for the PowerPoint, you can also say that it's benign, or there's a positive vibe, or they're happy. Okay, you can give it endless instruction. So here we go, loading Nano Banana. Love that name. Nano Banana is great as well. There are many different tools that do. There you go.
Oh yeah.
That's not bad, is
Yeah,
it? And
that's
of course, you
great.
can cut, copy, paste, download, transfer, share, do all the things you normally do. There's your download, there's your copy. You can copy it, put it into your computer, you can put it into a different lesson plan, whatever you want, and share anywhere. Okay, so that's that. Now, the other thing I wanted to show you very quickly is, I'll just go back to our opening page. Okay. I want to, yeah, okay, that's great. Thanks very much. Okay. Create a video. So the video uses VO3, a man buying coffee. And the reason I love this is because it can be culturally relevant. That everybody isn't going to look exactly the same, or everybody isn't going to be dressed exactly the same. So it's really great for generating your own videos, short videos. Okay, they can take 1 or 2 minutes, that's fine. Short videos. Here's one I did earlier. It's a video of a person posting a letter. Can you see that?
Yes.
There's a woman and a letterbox, and I'll just press play.
Very dramatic. It's great.
I don't know if you can hear as well. There's the sound of the letter going into the letterbox.
No, we
So,
couldn't hear it, but we believe you.
yeah, okay. And I didn't ask it to also include sound. I actually just said, you can see it there, video, a person posting a letter. That's
Yeah.
all I did. But I could say a woman from the Middle East posting a letter,
Yeah.
a man from Somalia posting a letter,
Yeah.
So it's really great that way. So people, if they don't see it, they can't be it. People feel connected. Okay. And let's go back. Two people in a pharmacy is still generating the video, but you get the idea. So I
Yeah.
love Gemini for that, for creating the video and the photo for exactly who it is that's in your classroom. Okay.
Kathy, was there anything else you had to show because we've run out of time?
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's been fantastic. Don't apologize. And
One
absolutely,
one
people love it.
second. 1 second. I'm just going to whiz through. Stop sharing. 1 second, please. And I have Fergus, thank you so much, because I have all of this to just share very quickly.
So we're recording this, so next week this video will be up on the
Oh
main
yeah,
YouTube channel if you want
I
to look
forgot
back and
about the
read it.
recording. I should have been much
Yeah.
more officious.
And I'll
Now,
send out all
can
the
you see Notebook LM and audio tools?
yes.
Yeah, okay, that's great. And another audio tool is 11 Labs. Guys, I just put in the name of huge tools. Many people are using them. Many people have heard about them already, okay? And just to fly through this very quickly, we have that, we did that. There's our prompt. We had a look at our prompt. Fergus is sending you information of
Yeah.
prompts to get you going, okay?
Yeah.
The demo, we did that. And then after that is Notebook LM, because it's so fantastic. You'll have such fun playing with it, but I suggest you put in small files so you can practice first, so you don't have to wait too long. Audio tools, 11 Labs are fine. It's fine. And then we have some of the big hitters. There's Canva AI, which is great. That lady who wanted image and text, Canva AI is the place to go. Magic School is all right, but remember the LLMs, Gemini, ChatGPT, etc. That's where the action is. And then some clever person created Magic School from the same technology that's behind the LLMs, okay? So Magic School is not free, but if 5 of your colleagues sign up for Magic School, it is then free. Then there's CuriPod, there's so many of them, but I put them into the pack that Fergus is going to send you. So this is just an example of some of the big names. I wanted to put in obvious names so people would recognize them. And then this one is using AI responsibly, linguistic accuracy. 2 people mentioned that what they had done wasn't exactly correct. It's fantastic. Don't trust it, verify it. You're doing everyone a favor, and put that information back into the LLM that you're using, saying you got this wrong, or it's not appropriate, or it seems biased to me. Cultural sensitivity, ethics, and bias. I don't think there's anybody more qualified than you, teaching in a classroom full of people from all around the world, to be hyper aware of ethics and bias. Nobody does it better than you do. And of course, data privacy. I said, don't input identifiable student information into public AI tools. That message is not for you today. That's really for the student. We've all seen students who are answering a question paper and they put in their real telephone number or whatever. So it's just the basics. And then this is what's going to be in the party pack that Fergus is sending you. Prompt formula card, ready to use prompt templates, and curated tool list. Okay. And that's it. That is it. And this is goodbye, and you're fantastic. You're ready. Your Monday morning goal. Try one tool, because this is like riding a bike. When you know how to ride the bike, it's really easy, but you do have to learn. So don't be overwhelmed. Try one tool and relax with it and enjoy it. Use one prompt and play around with that and improve it. And you'll save yourself at least 1 hour. Start with one tool. Use your prompt formula card, which Fergus will send you. Review every output as a professional. You're the professional. You're in charge. You have agency. You check it to make sure it's good enough for your students. And enjoy yourself. And that's it. Thank you very much.
Kathy, thanks a million. That was absolutely fantastic.
I'm so
So
glad you
many,
enjoyed
so
it.
many good ideas, so well planned and well explained.
Thank you.
There's lots and lots of people writing in. Fantastic, thanks. But Siobhan has written, bring Kathy back again. It was fantastic. Thank you. So
Thank you so
that
much. I'm so
thumbs up.
glad some of you found it useful. That's all I want to do, because you all work so hard. It's just something to make life a bit easier. And
Right.
Fergus, I want to thank you for facilitating this and helping me so much in the background. I really appreciate it.
You're very
Okay, and
welcome.
good luck, Dervla, with your publications. And thanks, Aoife, for the tech support.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thanks,
thank you so
everybody. Thanks,
much.
Kathy. That was
Bye-bye.
super.
See you again.
And I'll send out Kathy's resource to you afterwards. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Have a good weekend. Bye bye.
Thanks so much. Have a
Hope it
great
stops raining.
weekend.